Hey, hi, this is Jim from Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338. It is Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Thank you for joining me. All right, and Larry, wow, hey, right off the bat, welcome back, Larry. All right, yeah, here I am. So yeah, anyways, yeah, this is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338 is Sunday, March 29, 26. Let me do my intro and disclaimer for those of you who are new here. Yeah, welcome to Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, 2026 edition. This is episode 338. Big Jim Blogcast Live airs on Sunday nights on Facebook with the occasional Friday and 1 o'clock Wednesdays. We are in our we're in our 8th year as we debuted back in 2019. Big Jim Blogcast Live does craft beer reviews. We've done over like 250, 300 with cigar and backing it up with a spirit rum whiskey. Tonight's craft beer comes to us from Forked River, Ontario, Canada. Or no, Forked River in London, Ontario, Canada. It's called Bravo Session IPA. Trying it for the very first time. Accompanying that is Gibson's Finest Whiskey. And we've got like a good cigar with it, like right here. It is a Epicure Hoya Montano Habana Cuban cigar right there. Let me just, we'll hold on here. So yeah, all right. So anyways, okay. So anyways, we'll light this puppy up. Anyways, yeah, like I said, we craft beer reviews. Expect more. Yeah, what Big Shit Blogcast Live is all about. We talk about classic movies, classic TV, classic pro wrestling, classic rock, classic sci-fi, the classic legacy albums, classic albums, local events near you, bongos, countdowns, birthday shoutouts with our friends. With my sidekick here, Cactus Jack, somewhere around here. Yeah, all right. All right. Yeah. Whoops, what are we going to do right there? Oh, I dropped the bullhorn. All right. Big Jim Blogcast Live. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Retro, vintage, classic, nostalgia, yesteryear, the buzzwords here, politics and religion. Our band, we don't talk, we keep it light, funny. They're off limits, they're a no-no. I may say a few, like, and also my disclaimer, I may say a few bad, dirty words tonight. So, go to your safe space, go to your, like, okay, so go to your safe space. All right, so anyways, let's see. There we go. Post. Yeah, go to your safe space and cover your ears because I may say a few bad, dirty words tonight. Shit, damn, screw, fuck. You know. So yeah, and thank you for watching. Tune in and turn on and enjoy the show. Like us, share, subscribe to us all through the evening. I'm going to remind you that Big Jim Blogcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms where you listen to your podcasting. Plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jim Blogcast Live at YouTube.com. I also want to thank all the groups for watching tonight. What do we got here? All right, just checking. It's like all the Port Elgin Sarnia groups, Sarnia rocks, Michelle, you guys rock. All the pop culture, retro, classic, vintage, nostalgia, yesteryear groups. All the Van Halen, hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock groups. All like the craft beer, cigars. Van Halen, hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock, yeah. Groups. Craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, pro wrestling. Blog and vlog groups, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, also the Chuck Norris groups tonight. I never want to forget Mr. Chuck Norris. No. So, all right. All right. So, anyways, yeah, we got bongo solos for tonight. All right, so let's get started here. We're going to go into my craft beer tonight. All right, so we've got my craft beer. We did a craft beer, but here's on tap. What's on tap for tonight's lineup? We're going to do a Chuck Norris tribute. Chuck Norris passed away. We'll do a top 10 of Chuck Norris facts all through the blogcast. I didn't think I had one of his movies. There was a slight change up tonight. I was going to talk about Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but then I found one of Chuck Norris's movies. I've got one of his movies, Delta Force 2, right on. So there's a change in the lineup tonight. So it's going to be a double shot of Chuck Norris or a triple shot. Delta Force 2 from 1990, Walker, Texas Ranger Season 1. Classic tag teams, WWE Demolition. They're going into the Hall of Fame. Our classic Dallas Cowboy-Scott case from 1995. Our Rockstar Plane Crashes, the late Patsy Cline. Our classic Legacy album, which is 50 years old this past week. It's Van Halen's 5150, and also this week in Van Halen history. Well, let's get going here. So, anyways, like I said, I've got my craft beer for tonight. It is, it's called Bravo. It's by the Forked River Company in London, Ontario, Canada. I am trying this beer for the very first time tonight. I'm going to open it. Hold on here. Now I'm going to pour it, there we go. Hey, baby, there you are, Heidi. Glad you could join us. All right. And I got one of their glasses, too. Forked River. Well, if you can't see that, there we go. All right. So, yeah. There we go. Forked River. So, anyways, what do we got here? So, anyways, yeah. Before I get going to this, like I said, I tried this beer for the very first time tonight. I've got my own rating system. It is 10 from 10 to 1. 10 being outstanding, awesome, excellent, very good, above average, average, below average, not very good, terrible, awful. And we want it to go into we want it to at least land in there. So what am I going to give it tonight? 10, 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, 3. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. So, and anyways, yeah. Also, yeah. So, if you haven't gotten this is called the Growler. It's your Ontario Craft Beer Guide. This is the 2023 version. I haven't gone out and gotten the 2026 version yet. It's your Ontario Craft Beer Guide. It's $3 at your local craft brewery or your local LCBO, and it gives you all the up-to-date information on all the craft breweries in Ontario, Canada. All right, so like I said, we're going to do our craft beer review. We're going to do birthday shoutouts, countdowns, local events. Then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of Big Jims Blogcast Live. I'm going to do a little bit of more sharing here. Let's see. All right. There we go. All right. All right. All right. So yeah. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. So there we are. All right. Doing a little bit more sharing. There we go. Off that. Now, like I said, all right. Our beer for tonight, and I let this grow on me all through the blogcast. Our beer for tonight, our craft beer, is called Bravo. It's a session IPA. It's by the Forked River Brewing Company in Ontario, Canada, London, Ontario, Canada. I am trying this for the very first time tonight. I'm accompanying that is Gibson's Finest Whiskey and a good Cuban cigar. So here we go. All right. Crisp aftertaste to it, but come on, yeah, it's like not that bad. It's like all right. Here's the hop level to it, if you can see that right there. And so, all right, we'll just give this a top up. First impressions, like I said, it's got to grow on me all through the blogcast. Let me just turn this down a little bit. the Chuck Norris movie. And yeah. So, anyways, yeah. First impressions. Crisp like a very crisp aftertaste to it. Doesn't give me that much added information on the can. Malted barley, malted oats, hops, yeast. But it's not that bad. I'm going to, whether it's a spring, summer, or fall beer, later on in the blogcast, I'll let you know. And if you want to, and I do give this a rating out from 1 out of 10 later on in the blogcast. If you're still here and sticking around, and you want to throw out a number, see if it matches up with mine, feel free to do so. All right. Accompanying that is Gibson's Finest Whiskey. I raise a toast to, like, Mr. Chuck Norris. All right. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, we're going to do some birthday shout-outs. So, anyways, yeah, we've got... So, we'll get to the birthday shout-outs. Then we'll do our countdowns, local events, and then all that I talked about, the meat and potatoes of the blogcast here. So, anyways, yeah, let's get going here. Let's do some birthday shout-outs here, shall we? Accompanied by that, my good buddy. Okay. All right. So, all right. Okay. Now, birthday shoutouts from March 23rd to March 29th. Here we go. Dana Lemke, Randall Scarr, Tracy McCready Portis, Mike Owen, Clint Turcott, Warren Phillips, Nicole Bishop, Mark Edward Landerhue, and Scott Pearson. All right. Let me do that again. Dana Lemke, Randall Scarr, Tracy McCready Portis, Mike Owen, Clint Turcott, Warren Phillips, Nicole Bishop, Mark Edward Landerhue, and Scott Pearson. So happy birthday, everyone! I hope you guys, especially Scott, I hope you are celebrating your birthdays. Right on! Happy birthday from Big Jims Blogcast Live. So, all right. Okay. Boom. All right. Bongo time. All right. So, and also, if you want to call up the blogcast, it's 1-800-867-5309. It's a toll-free call. Call me up on your rotary or your cell and say, hey, Jim, how's that blogcast coming? How's the beer doing? Right on. All right. So, yeah, rock on. 1-800-867-5309. It is toll-free to call. Rotary or cell. There we go. All right. So, bam. Okay. And you know what? Yeah, welcome to Big Jim Blogcast Live. I've got my good cigar here. It's a Hoyota de Montera Habana cigar. I've got, like, Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. And my craft beer for tonight, I am trying it for the very first time. It's called Bravo Session IPA. It's by the Forked River Company and Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. Somebody should share this blogcast with Forked River. Be great. I am trying this beer for the very first time tonight. All right. A little bit of it's not 1% bitter aftertaste to it, but it's so far so good. We're rocking. Whether it's a spring, summer, or fall beer, I'll let you know on that. What it goes good with. I'll just put this back here for now. And you know, when I do these craft beer reviews, I don't go, well, it's a very exquisite, highbrow, high-tasting, high society. Light beer goes good with sherbet. No, you know what? I just go with my gut, what's in here. So, anyways, yes. And I do give it a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here and sticking around, feel free to throw out a number like so many else have done. So let me get some countdowns out of the way here. All right. So anyways. All right. Here are the countdowns. Long weekend, Good Friday, we've got 5 days away. Victoria Day long weekend, we've got 57 days away. Summer, 84 days away. Mother's Day, 42 days away. Father's Day, 84 days away. And Canada Day is 94 days away. Boom. All right. So, yeah, we got that out of the way. Good. All right. Damn. All right. This is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338. Sunday, March 29th, 2026. All right. Well, yeah. All right. Let me share that. Let's see. Okay. All right. There we are. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Happy birthday to Scott Pearson and all those people. Let me do some local events here in and around Sarnia, in and around where you are. So, all right. Come on. All right. All right. Whoops. All right. Few technical Whoa. Wait. All right. So, anyways, Sarnia Kinsman Rib Fest. All right. Sarnia Kinsman Rib Fest, June 19th to June 21st, 2026. 4:30. All right. Okay. All right. So, anyways. There we go. All right. So, anyways, come on. There we are. All right, we're back on track here. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, Sarnia Kinsman Rib Fest, June 19th to June 21st, 2026. 430 Front Street, Sarnia. Admission $5. Craft beer, bands, rib, of course, ribs. Friday night, of course, the bands. Friday night, Retrospect, The Feelers, Johnny Five. Saturday, that rock show, Undercover, Wayward Saints. Sunday, Atomic Heart, The Maritones, and Celtic Hillbillies. Galaxy. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Whoops. No. There we are. Anyways, yeah, Galaxy Sarnia. If you're into psychic crystal fairs and all that, the Galaxy Sarnia Psychic and Crystal Fair, Friday, April 3rd, 2026 to April 5th, 2026, the Village Inn, 751 Christina Street, Sarnia. Tickets $10. Eventbrite. Eventbrite.ca is where you get your tickets. Astrologers, palm readings, mediums, anything to do with the occult. Sarnia Poutine Feast, Thursday, May 28th, 2026 to May 31st, Centennial Park in Sarnia. Free to get into, all the poutine you could ever want. Sarnia Pop Culture Show, Sunday, April 19th, 2026, 10 a.m., Point Edward Memorial Arena. 210 Monk Street, comics, cosplay, games, toys, might be an occasional celebrity guest. So, there Pinery Market opening, Sunday, May 3rd, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m., 10163 Lakeshore Road, Grand Bend. Oh yeah. All right. Thank you for the likes and loves. There's only two. There's going to be over 250 vendors there. Live music, $2 admission. 2026 Dog Festival, Dogs Gone Country, Saturday, June 20th, 10 a.m. at 2437 Michigan Line in Sarnia. Hosted by Sarnia District Humane Society. Lambton Film and Food Festival, Thursday, May 28th, 6 p.m., 24 King Street, Forest, Ontario, Canada. Food, art, music. Cruise in the Park 2026, Sunday, June 28th, 8 a.m. till 2 p.m., Canatera Park, 1200 Lake Chickabin Drive, Sarnia, by Sarnia Street Machines. Punk Rock Picnic, Saturday, June 20th, 2026, 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. in the Canatera Band Shell, 1200 Lake Chickabin Drive. Tickets, revelry.com. Bands announced right on. So, yeah, that is it. There we go. All right. So, anyways. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, yes, that is it for this is local events here. So, anyways, boom. Bongo solo there. All right. This is Big Jim Blogcast Live version 8.0, episode 338. I've got a good cigar here. As we go into our Chuck Norris tribute here. First of all, our Chuck, as you may know, Chuck passed away March 19, 2026 at age 86. And we raise a glass to Mr. Norris. There we go. So, all right, and before we get going on Chuck Norris, we've got my craft beer for tonight, accompanied by a Hoda Montero Hawaiian, or a Habana cigar here. We've also got our Gibson's Finest Whiskey, and my craft beer for tonight. It is called Bravo. It's a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight. Not bad. Little 1% bitter aftertaste to it, but it does go down smoothly. Like I said, I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight. It's called Bravo Session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario. And like I said, I do give this a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you're still here and sticking around, feel free to throw in a number like so many people have done here. So, yeah. I'm going to set this back here for now as we get on. All right. With our Chuck Norris tribute here. Boom. All right. So anyways, the man right here. All right. Okay. What hasn't been said about Chuck Norris that been said already? What can the man do? So we've got a top 10 facts about Chuck Norris, but we're going to do our tribute salute to him. He was born March 10th, 1940. Of course, films, Way of the Dragon, Good Guys Wear Black, A Force of One. His movies, Way of the Dragon, Good Guys Wear Black, A Force of One, The Octagon, Silent Rage, Forced Vengeance, Lone Wolf McQuade, Missing in Action 1 and 2, Invasion USA, The Delta Force 1 and 2, The Hitman, Sidekicks, Top Dog, Dodgeball as a cameo, and Expendables 2. So I did post as Booker, TV, Room 222, Karate Commandos, Wind in the War, Walker, Texas Ranger, Yes Dear, The Goldbergs. He's held it'd be as I was researching Mr. Norris's black belt, martial arts. Wow, he's he really kicked. He's got black belts in karate, taekwondo, Tang de Si Duo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Judo. He's also an accomplished author. Of course, yes, he was, and awards. like 1989, he was awarded the Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. Fighter of the Year 1966 by Black Belt Magazine. I'm going, like I said, all through the blogcast, I'm going to present like a top 10 of Chuck Norris facts. And I'm going to do this respectfully for Mr. Norris because even if he's passed away, he can still strike out. All right. So, yeah, fact number one. Here we go. In the top 10. When Chuck arrived at the gates of heaven, St. Peter showed his ID to Chuck Norris. And so, all right. So, yeah. That is fact number one. All right. So, anyways, yeah. I'm going to identify myself to Mr. Norris. Mr. Norris, of course, all these people, Big Jims Blogcast Live is not spam. Of course, I wouldn't be because the ghost of Chuck Norris is here. Big Jim Blogcast Live goes out later on all these on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and all these audio listening platforms or shit podcasts. Plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jim Blogcast Live at YouTube.com. I want to give shouts out to be watching the Sarnia, Port Elgin groups, especially Sarnia Rocks. Michelle, you guys rock. All the pop culture, retro, classic, vintage, nostalgia, yesteryear groups. All the Van Halen, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups, craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, pro wrestling, blogspot, blog and vlog groups, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, Chuck Norris groups. Right on. So, bam. All right. As we get into it right now, I've got his movie on right now. I didn't think I'd had a Chuck Norris movie. Like I said, we were going to go with Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but I found, like I said, I found Chuck, like Delta Force 2 in my movie collection there. Gave it a watch. It's on right now. I'm going to respectfully, tell you about this movie right now. All right. So, anyways. Oh, yeah. We will be giving Chuck Norris an 11 gong salute later on in the blogcast. Oh. It's only rightfully so. Now, Delta Force 2, of course, it's a good movie, all right? I've got it on right now. I was watching it earlier. All right, so it's Delta Force 2. It was released August 24th, 1990. Budget on a budget of $16 million. It was by Canon Films. It only did $6.7 million at the box office. So the cast, Chuck Norris and Scott McCoy. You've got Billy Drago as Ramon Cota, the drug lord. John P. Ryan as General Taylor. Richard Jekyll as DEA agent John Page. Here's Mr. Norris right there. And so, all right. So anyways, Delta Force 2. Drug lord, cartel boss. The premise of this movie, drug lord, cartel boss Ramon Cota controls the cocaine industry with an iron fist, and starts a feud between the DEA and his country, San Carlos, fictional country though. There we go. There's there he is right there, typical drug movie drug lord. Starts a war between the DEA and his country, San Carlos. The DEA surveillance team in Rio de Janeiro gets ambushed and massacred by Cota's hitmen and his cartel. Because of this, the DEA enlists the Delta Force to take on the cartel. It's like a personal mission for Colonel Scott McCoy, as several of his men are killed and tortured by Cota and the cartel. 3 DEA agents are taken hostage by the cartel. McCoy, believing San Carlos army is corrupted by the cartel, goes on the recon mission to rescue the hostages alone. San Carlos army and government are working against the U.S. Army. McCoy breaks into Cota's mansion, releasing the hostages. McCoy's captain captures Cota in an armored limousine and with his bodyguards an attack helicopter in pursuit of the limo. The helicopter shoots the limo. Coda escapes. McCoy pushes him. They fight each other to the death. McCoy takes Coda as his prisoner. Coda's henchman tries to free Coda, but doesn't work. Coda aboard the helicopter, his rope. He's hanging by a rope, and it snaps, leading. It's your typical oily drug lord. I see. And falls 100,000 of feet below towards his death. Now, I posted, like, it was a good movie. It was a good popcorn movie. Coda, the standout performance in this movie was by, like, Billy Drago, who played Ramon Coda, the drug lord. He was, like, so slimy and evil and oily. It's, like, ruthless, too. It's, like, nothing taking away from Mr. Norris, though. Please, hey, all right. So, anyways, yeah. Like I said, I did post more of Delta Force 2, the trailer and scenes from the movie on my Blogcast page and my Facebook page. So, yeah, look for it. Like it there. And yes, we do. It's an homage to the man, Mr. Chuck Norris, who passed away just a week ago, or who passed away recently. So, anyways, yeah. Bong. All right, bongo solo there. All right. Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Thank you for ending your weekend with me. All right, got a good cigar there. I'd like to present Chuck Norris. We're doing a top 10 in this fact number 2. All right, Chuck Norris caught the coronavirus. He keeps it in his backyard. Wow, there we go. That is top 10 number 2 of Chuck Norris. He keeps it in his backyard. And by the way, if you if you want to call me up on the hotline tonight, 1-800-867-5309. Toll free to call. Use your rotary phone or your cell and tell me how we like the blogcast. How's it going? It's great, dude. How's that beer going? All right. So, yes, 1-800-867-5309. Toll free on your rotary or your cell. Right on. And at the end of the blogcast, we're going to do an 11 gong salute for Mr. Norris. So, yeah, and before we get to his TV show, my craft beer for tonight, accompanied by this good cigar. It's a Havana Hoy de Montera. My craft beer for tonight, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. My craft beer for tonight, it is called Bravo. It's a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company. Got it in the glass. I've got one of their glasses here because I visited them, I was there about a couple of years ago. So, and I am trying this beer for the very first time tonight. So, all right. So, anyways, it's got to grow on me all through the blogcast here. Yeah, good. It's all right. All right. So, yeah, it's as far as it goes, there's a little bit bitterness, 1% bitterness taste to it, but it does go down. It's a dry, little bit bitter, a little bit dry. It does go down pretty good, but yeah. And so later on in the blogcast, I'll expand on it, whether it's a spring, summer, fall, or winter beer. It's got to grow on me all through the blogcast. Like I said, if you want to give it, I give it a rating from 1 out of 10 later on in the blogcast. If you're still here and sticking around, you want to throw out a number like so many people have done, feel free to do so between 1 and 10. All right, I'll just place this back here. Okay, we've got the Big Jims Blogcast Live. All right, that is the bullhorn right there. Okay, I've got um, ooh, I've got like the movie on right now. Mr. Norris is at his full fury. Mm. Mm. All right, so here we go. All right, we've got like I said, Chuck Norris triple shot. But before that, we want to do like a number 3 of Chuck Norris's top 10 facts. Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. I'll repeat that. Death once had a near-death Chuck Norris experience. All right. So, okay. And as we get to, all right, we get to Walker, Texas Ranger. All right, the first season of it. There he is. There we go. And there's the cast of Walker, Texas Ranger. We have. All right. So this aired from, it was actually the first season, the 1992-93 season. It aired from April 21st, 1993 to May 1st, 1993 on CBS for only 4 episodes. Cast, you got Chuck Norris as Texas Ranger Sergeant Cordell Walker, Clarence Gilliard as Texas Ranger Sergeant Jimmy Trevette, Cherie J. Wilson as Tarrant County Assistant DA Alex Cahill, Noble Willingham as C.D. Parker, a former Texas Ranger and bar owner, Floyd Western, a Raymond Firewalker, Walker's uncle. Now the premise was Cordell Walker, Texas Ranger. He's an old school law and order Texas Ranger, keeps law and order in Texas State along with his like partner Jimmy Trevette. He solves like mysteries and cases and all that, and he has to kick some ass. So you've seen like I said, I did post. I posted like the trailers and the scenes from Walker Texas Ranger season 1 episodes: One Riot, One Ranger, part 1 and 2, Borderline, Shadow in the Night. For its first time out, Walker Texas Ranger did pretty good numbers. Like the first episode, part 1 and 2 garnered 24 million viewers. Borderline, 17 million viewers. A Shadow in the Night, 16 million viewers. The first season, though, was produced by Canon Films, and they were supposed to do 13 episodes, but Canon had money troubles, financial issues, which they had to cut the season short. They couldn't afford like a full 13 episode season. So anyways, CBS put Walker Texas Ranger in the Saturday night mid-spring 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. time slot. They competed against NBC had Sisters and Reasonable Doubts. ABC had The Commish. This is a cool show. Anybody remember this show? The Commish? Complete first season. That was a cool show, though. So Walker Texas Ranger did pretty good in its first season out. And the first season with like an 11.7 rating in the Nielsen rating, which was pretty good. So, yeah, and like I said, I did post more scenes on my blogcast page and my Facebook page of Walker Texas Ranger. Cherie J. Wilson, as you know, she previously appeared on Dallas. And Noble Willingham, a veteran character actor, the late Noble Willingham. He did appear he's like a veteran of stage and screen, and I did talk about him during one of the previous blogcast movies, The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis. But yeah, like I said, I did post several clips and scenes from Walker Texas Ranger season 1 on my blogcast page and my Facebook page, so look for that. So right on. All right, so not bad, not bad at all. So. And what did I already say? Number 3? Yeah, I did say number 3. So, all right, boom. All right, a little bit of bongo there. Boom. All right, my craft beer for tonight. Mm. Mm. Okay. As we get to our classic tag team, the Demolition, my craft beer for tonight, accompanied by a Hoya de Montera Habana cigar, and accompanied by Gibson's finest whiskey here. Mm, 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 mm. Um, we've got Bravo. I gotta. Okay, it's a backup can. I gotta open it there. We're gonna top it up. Mm. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. A little bit of foam there, but yeah. All right. So I'm trying this. It's called like Bravo. It's Bravo. It's your it's a session IPAs by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. I was there a couple of years ago. So, not bad. It's growing on me. It does have that little bitterness taste to it, but that goes away. I'll top it up a little bit more here. All right. So yeah, it's a good beer. I do, like I said, I do give this a rating from 1 out of 10 later on in the blogcast. And if you want to throw out a number, feel free to do so. So see if it matches up with mine. I'm going to put this back here as we move on. All right. Look, I've got the big Jims Blogcast Live coffee mug here, complete with harmonica in there. All right. So as we get to our classic tag team, all right. Whoops. All right. So, anyways, okay, we've got our classic tag team here, Demolition. Now these guys, okay, the guy in the middle, Crush, the original Demolition. We've got Bill Eadie as Axe, and Smash, played by Randy Darso. Crush came later, but these two right here are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, I've had mixed feelings about these guys. So, all right. So they feuded. They debuted January 4th, 1987. Axe and Billy Dee, the original members. The original members, Axe and Smash, Barry Darso. I know, eh? Fuck. They debuted January 4th, 1987 at a WWE show at the Springfield Civic Center in Massachusetts. Demolition, you've seen the black leather outfits, the hockey mask, face paint. Randy Colley was replaced after 3 months with Barry Darso. Manager Johnny Valiant sold their rights to contracts to Mr. Fuji, who became the new manager. Memorable feuds. They feuded with the Hart Foundation. They feuded with the Islanders. They feuded with Strike Force, Tito Santana and Rick Martel. The Young Stallions, Paul Roman and Jim Powers. The Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell. And they also feuded with the Can-Am Connection, Rick Martel and Tom Zink. All right. So, anyways, they've led the memorable feuds: Killer Bees, Rougeau Brothers, British Bulldogs, the Young Stallions, the Islanders, Can-Am Connection, Strike Force, the Powers of Pain, Hart Foundation, the Twin Towers, the Brain Busters, the Colossal Connection, the Rockers. WWE Tag Team title reigns March 27, 1988. They beat Strike Force at WrestleMania 4, then losing to the Brain Busters July 18, 1989, a Saturday night's main event. Demolition won the belts back October 2nd, 1989, WWE Superstars. Then they lose the titles to Colossal Connection December 13th, 1989 on Superstars. Demolition won the tag team titles, the third reign, tag team titles at WrestleMania 6 on April 1st, 1990 against the Colossal Connection. New member Crush joins. The Hart Foundation will beat Demolition for the titles at SummerSlam 1990. Brian Adams joins as Crush. Axe slowly fades into the background as manager. The Road Warriors, actually it's pretty interesting. The Road Warriors sign with the WWE. Demolition and LOD begin feuding. Demolition slowly Fade from the WD popularity, declining LOD joint because of LOD joining the WWE. Um, They begin losing matches to the Orient Express, the Rockers. They begin wrestling in singles matches. Their last WWE match was September 18th, 1991. Demolition breaks up. Smash leaves the WWE. Bill Eadie leaves the WWE. Crush leaves the WWE after a year. I did post more of their matches. I did post more of their promos and matches on on my blogcast. But interestingly enough, I always thought, well, I like these guys now, but I always thought they were Road Warrior ripoffs. Vince McMahon wanted his own version of the Road Warriors. He desperately tried to get them signed to the WWE. Demolition, I think when I first saw them, they were like, oh, okay. McMahon just threw them together, slapped some paint on them, and all that leather and all that, and it's like, but you know what? Over time, I began to appreciate Demolition. I thought, like I said, back then I thought they were Road Warrior ripoffs, but when Vince actually came out and got the Road Warriors, LOD, they had to be called LOD because Vince would have to pay them for using the Road Warrior name. Demolition slowly faded into the background, like they were nothing. And you could. If you're a regular watcher like I was, you could see Demolition was like slowly fading away from the main event status because of these guys. So, but yeah. But happier note, Axe and Smash, Barry Darsow and Bill Eadie are going into the WWE Hall of Fame later on in April. And like I said, I did post more of their matches and promos on my blogcast page and my Facebook page. Look for it. So, yeah. All right. Boom. It's a years in your ears broadcast here. So, all right. This is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I know, Larry. When I watch today's WWE, I think the product has gone soft. I think it's changed for the worse. Ever since McMahon sold it. Yeah, so all right. Anyways, come on. There we go. All right. So, yeah. I'm about to present you with a fourth Chuck Norris fact. All right. Here's in our top 10. Number 4. Chuck Norris joined the UFC. Everybody else quits. Again, Chuck Norris joined the UFC. Everybody else quits. All right. So, okay. And this is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29, 2026. Yeah, there's a few standout wrestlers today, like pro wrestlers today, but the whole product has gone soft. I honestly think that social media and the internet has killed the mystique of pro wrestling. So, and that's my take on it. All right. So yeah. My craft beer for tonight, it is accompanied by a Hoya Montero Habana cigar and accompanied by our Gibson's Finest Whiskey. I'm going to save some of this for our final toast to Mr. Norris later on. All right. So, my craft beer for tonight is called Bravo. It is a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight. All right. Okay. Yeah. That bitterness, that little hint of bitterness, slowly goes away as I get more into it. I'll give it a top up here. I'm going to start it off by this is going to be a good spring beer. So yeah, good spring beer. First arrival of spring, sunshine, everything. All right. Yeah. And like I said, I do give this a rating out of 10 later on the blogcast. If you want to throw out a number between 1 and 10, feel free to do so. I'm going to say whether or not this is Chuck Norris approved, I will tell you at the end of the blogcast. So here we go. Forked River. It is called Bravo. It's a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. As we put this back here. All right. And we've got you've got the big Jims Blogcast Live coffee mug with the harmonica in it. All right. So, yeah. And we go to our classic Cowboy. All right. First of all, I'm going to remind everybody that Big Jims Blogcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms where you should podcast to, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast Live at youtube.com. I want to give shouts out to the watching the Sarnia Port Elgin groups. Sarnia rocks. Michelle, you guys rock. All the pop culture, retro, classic, vintage, nostalgia, yesteryear groups. All the Van Halen, hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock groups, craft beer, cigars. Hi, Gwen. Where's Kim? Who's Kim? Anyways, yeah, craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, pro wrestling, blog and vlog groups, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, and all the Chuck Norris groups out there. Right on. Yep. I don't know. Is there a Kim here? I don't know. I'm just screwing with you, Gwen. How are you tonight? And so thank you for tuning in tonight. Yeah. And the hotline. All right. So, anyways, if you want to call me up on the hotline, 1-800-875-309 on your rotary phone or your cell, toll free. Hey, Jim, we love the blogcast. How the beer going down? Again, 1-800-875-309. Toll free to call on your rotary or your cell. So there we go. All right. And at the end of the blogcast, I will be giving Chuck Norris an 11 gong salute. So, all right. And, yeah, we did something new this year. We have our classic Cowboy, classic Dallas Cowboy. He is Scott Case, 1995 Super Bowl with the winner. But, anyways, if you have Netflix and you have, like, the... if you have Netflix, there's a documentary on the Cowboys, America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. And it's a pretty good documentary. It's like focuses on these gentlemen right here. This is Bum Bright, the first owner of the Dallas Cowboys. The second owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, owns it to this day. This guy right here, Tom Landry, the first coach of the Dallas Cowboys, winning the Super Bowl like twice. Jimmy Johnson right here wins the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys, head coach twice. Barry Switzer right here wins it once in 1995. Yeah, he does. Not many at least. Like, all right. So, all right. All right. Yeah. And, yeah, it's a good, like, they haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. So I've got, like, our classic Dallas Cowboy tonight, Mr. Scott Case. He was born May 17th, 1962 in Wayne, Oklahoma. Height 6 foot 1 inches, weight 188 pounds. He attends earlier on in his high school, ended in high school in his sophomore year, joining the football team as a safety, then moved to running back in his senior year. College, he enrolls in Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, playing free safety as a freshman. In his sophomore year, plays 9 games, receives NCAA All-American honors, earning himself 60 tackles, 13 touchdowns. transfers to the University of Oklahoma, moved to starting cornerback, which he gets 56 tackles, 2 interceptions. Pro career, now he was selected by the Atlanta Falcons in the 1984 NFL Draft. Plays strong safety, right cornerback, free safety. Plays 11 seasons with the Falcons. Finishes second in career tackles and fourth in career interceptions. So now, with under Coach Barry Switzer, the last coach ever to win a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys, August 24th, 1995, signs with the Dallas Cowboys as a free agent. Plays special teams and strong safety. Collects 32 defensive tackles, 4 passes, and 13 special teams tackles. So he was a part of the 1995 Super Bowl winning team. The Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. But unfortunately, he was not re-signed after the season, and he retires. So, yes, and I did post Scott's highlights on my blogcast page, my Facebook page. He was quite the football player, quite the rough and tumble, ass kicking type of guy that the Cowboys needed. And he helped them win the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-17, backing up Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman. So that is your classic Dallas Cowboy-Scott case under the leadership of Coach Barry Switzer, ex-Coach Barry Switzer. And like I said, I did post more of his highlights, career highlights on my blogcast page and my Facebook page. So, all right. Did we do number 5? Let's see. Oh, yes. All right. So I'm going for a top 10, number 5. All right. Of Chuck Norris Facts. 10. All right. Okay, number 5. Chuck Norris doesn't cheat death. He wins fair and square. I'll repeat that. Chuck Norris doesn't cheat death. He wins fair and square. All right. So, anyways, yes. All right. So, anyways, this is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29, 2026. Thank you for watching. All right. So, I've got got a good cigar here tonight. Bam. All right. And, yeah, my craft beer for tonight, accompanied by a great cigar. All right. We've got a Hoya Montea Habana Cuban from Riverfront Cigars right here in Sarnia. Accompanying that is our Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. So, yeah. And tonight's craft beer, we have, all right, Bravo. It's a session IPA, but it's by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. I've got one of their glasses here. I visited Forked River. I visited a couple of years ago. Nice little brewery. I'm going to top this up. Like I said, I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight. All right. So, anyways, there we go. Yeah. All right. Likes and loves. All right. So, anyways, it is called Bravo. It is a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. All right. So, anyways, I gotta get rid of that. Yeah. More and more I get into this beer, the more and more the bitterness. The bitterness appears first, but then it disappears. This is a good beer. I think it's definitely a spring beer. I didn't think. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. All right. All right. Let's see that. We're going to notifications. All right. Thank you, everybody. Anyways, yeah, it's a good spring beer. And, it goes down fairly smoothly. All right. So, Yeah, and it would go good with salad. All right. I'm going to expand on this. Good spring summer beer. Um, mm, It's color. Not much going on there for color, but it's like it's very transparent. You can see through the beer. Give it a little top up here. Like I said, I do give it a rating out of 1 out of 10 at the end of the blogcast. So if you're still here and sticking around, feel free to do so. Feel free to throw out a number between 1 and 10. And Gwen, it is called Bravo. It's a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. Whether or not it's Chuck Norris approved beer, I will give you that info later on in the blogcast. So we'll just set this back here for now. All right. So yeah. Okay. So as we go into, I'm going to give you fact number 6 of our top 10. Chuck Norris. Okay, here's a good one. Chuck Norris' dog is trained to pick up his own poop because Chuck Norris will not take shit from anyone. Number 6, Chuck Norris trained his dog. Chuck Norris's dog is trained to pick up his own poop because Chuck Norris will not take shit from anyone. So yeah, all right. And that's like, that is like number 6 on our top 10 Chuck Norris facts. All right, so, all right, bam. So, anyways, all right. All right, thank you, Larry. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. Let's see what we got here. So, anyways, yeah, this is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Heidi, Larry and I go way back. So, all the way back to grade 3, I think, or 2. I don't remember. But anyways, tonight we have our Rockstar plane crashes. We dare to be different here on the blogcast, as we have Miss Patsy Cline. The date was March 5th, 1963. It's almost like 50 plus years ago this month. Patsy, the legendary Patsy Cline, country singer that passed away in a plane crash. All right. And I've got several pictures of the plane crash right there. All right. So, anyways, crazy. Earlier that day, I'll take you through that. Earlier that day, Patsy performed a benefit at the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas. She gave 3 performances, 2 p.m., 5:15 p.m., and 1 at 8:15 p.m. Standing room only shows. Also performing were George Jones, Cowboy-Scott, and Hank Snow. March 5th, 12:30 p.m., she checked out of her hotel room, boarded a Piper PA-24 Comanche plane with Cooley Copas, Hank Shaw Coolins, and pilot Randy Hughes. Fairfax Airport was fogged in. The plane stops in Rogers, Arkansas to refuel. They land at Dyersburg Municipal Airport in Tennessee. At 5 p.m., the airport manager suggests they stay the night because of all the fog. Because of the high winds and fog conditions, the group declines. Bad mistake there. The plane takes off at 6:07 p.m. The pilot, Randy Hughes, wasn't formally trained in instrument flying. The plane crashes in heavy weather. Tuesday, 5th in the clearing. Everyone was killed instantly. The instrument panel had clocked out at 6:20 p.m. The plane crashed in the forest in Camden, Tennessee, 90 miles from its Nashville destination. Aftermath, Yeah, heavy fog. No, the instrument panel gives out. That's like, woo, bang. All right. In the aftermath, Patsy Cline was buried in Shenandoah annual park from her tour. She was on tour of Winchester, Virginia, as a memorial stone that makes up the exact place that the plane crashed in the Camden, Tennessee forest. And that was a great country singer, legendary country singer, Patsy Cline. It like it was like 50 something odd years ago this month that the legendary Patsy Cline, passed away in a plane crash. All right, and here we've got several. Nobody can survive that. And here's one more picture of it. So, yeah, it was like the late, and I did post more of the plane crash and the aftermath of the Patsy Cline's plane crash and the aftermath of it. Her final 24 hours on my blogcast page and my Facebook page. So, there we go. All right, so. All right, boo. All right, bam. All right. So, anyways, and if you guys want to call me up on the hotline, 1-800-867-5309, a toll-free call. Call me on your rotary phone or your cell and ask me, hey, Jim, how's that? We love the blogcast. How's that beer going down? Right on. 1-800-867-5309. Toll-free to call. All right. You do not need your parents' permission. So, all right. Bam. My craft beer tonight, accompanied by Hoya Montana cigar. From Riverfront Cigars, accompanied by Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. My craft beer for tonight, it is called Bravo. It's a session IPA. I've got one of their glasses. It's it's by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. Like I said, I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight, and it's turning out to be a really good beer. I'm going to say that it's good spring and summer beer. I'll expand on that now. Good spring, summer, and fall beer. The bitterness that I once tasted went away, and it does go down very smoothly. All right, and yeah, Forked River Brewing Company, good little brewery in London, Ontario, Canada. I was there about maybe a couple of years ago, and yeah, so they do have some sour beers there. This will go good with a salad, maybe fish salad, fish, salmon, you know. But yeah, like I said, I do give this a rating out of 10 later on in the blogcast. So if you want to throw out a number between 1 and 10, think what I'm going to give it, feel free to do so. So I'll pass this right here. And I'm going to give you fact number 7, I think, of Mr. Chuck Norris. All right. Wait a minute. All right. Fact number 8. No. Okay. All right. We're on fact number 8. Oh no, fact number 7. All right. A cobra bit Chuck Norris's leg. After 5 days of excruciating pain, the cobra died. Again, the cobra bit Chuck Norris's leg. After 5 days of excruciating pain, the cobra died. There we go. All right, and that is fact number 7. All right. So, okay, boom. And at the end of the blogcast, we'll do 11 gong salute for Mr. Chuck Norris, and we get to my classic album, classic legacy album. So, yeah. All right. so we get to my classic album for the night. We have. Oh, wait a minute. I've got the Blogcast mug right here with the harmonica in it. All right. So, as we get to my classic album for tonight, it is Van Halen's 5150. It was released. If you were a teenager in 1986, you would have picked this up. March 24th, 1986, it was released. It was like last week, it's been like 50 years. Wait a minute. 40 years old. This album is 40 years old. So this is the 7th studio album, released March 24th, 1986, recorded in... all right. Recorded in between November of 1985 and February 1986 at 5150 Studios, Edward Van Halen's home studio. Now, you've got, of course, people were asking, where's David Lee Roth? What happened? Like me, if you're a Van Halen fan, you were asking yourselves and your friends, what happened to David Lee Roth? Where is he? Why isn't he on this album? Well, there's a bit of a, David Lee Roth quit the band. In short, David Lee Roth quit the band. It was, they were left with a singer. Eddie and Alex and Michael decided on, after a bunch of people auditioned, he went out and got Sammy Hagar. Now, an interesting story behind this, they shared a mutual mechanic named Claudio Zampoli. Edward Van Halen was getting his Lamborghini serviced at Claudio Zampoli's shop when he was telling Claudio, "Hey, I need a new lead singer for the band." And Claudio said, "Why don't you try out Sammy Hagar?" And Sammy Hagar was a client of his too. So, anyways, Edward Van Halen called Sammy Hagar right from Claudio's shop, and they agreed to audition, come down and sing. David Lee Roth left the band in 1985. Like I said, Eddie was referred to Sammy by Claudio Zampoli, which was a mutual acquaintance of both, like a Lamborghini foreign car dealer. After intense negotiation between Warner Brothers and Geffen, who Sammy was under contract with, Hagar was free to join the band due to a few conditions. Ted Templeman, who worked with Van Halen, and David Lee Roth would not work with Van Halen on 5150. So they had the producer Mick Jones of Foreigner. So Ted Templeman was out at 5150. Now the songs you get. Oh, all right. So the current lineup, the lineup for this band, this version of Van Halen, was Edward Van Halen, of course, on guitar, Alex Van Halen on drums, Michael Anthony on bass, and Sammy Hagar, new lead singer, on lead vocals. So, yeah. Now, we've got the songs here. Side 1, Good Enough. Why Can't This Be Love? Get Up, Dreams, Summer Nights. Side 2, Best of Both Worlds. Love Walks In, 5150, Inside. So as a kid, I went out. Yeah, I did. I'm a Van Halen fan. As you can tell, I went out and got this well, not the album, but the CD and tape. I think I got the tape of it. So this was Van Halen's, actually, and interestingly enough, this was Van Halen's first Billboard #1 album. So, yeah, it produced by Van Halen, Mick Jones, and longtime Van Halen engineer Don Landy, all at 5150 Studios. So, yeah. So it artwork on the back, there we go. There it is. Let's see. As we get, there's not that much info. Let's see. Art director Jerry McManus. Art direction Van Halen. Cover photography by Aaron Rappaport. Personal manager at the time Ed Leffler. Yeah. So this would be the beginning of the Van Hagar era of Van Halen. And it was good. The 5150 tour, they went on tour. They started March 27, 1986. 3 legs, 14 shows, and ended November 3rd, 1986. First leg was the tour was in U.S. and Canada, in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. BTO was the opener. Yeah. So, like I said, the artwork, Jerry McManus and Aaron Rappaport. But overall, this shows like Edward Van Halen's growing obsession with keyboards. The cool, I posted Why Can't This Be Love, Best of Both Worlds, the 2 videos on my blogcast page, my Facebook page. It's like I said, it's a classic legacy album. This album is like 40 years old. It still biases me. I think this still holds up over time. My favorite songs on here were Best of Both Worlds, Good Enough, Why Can't This Be Love, Summer Nights. Pretty as you look back on it, it's the beginning of Hera, of the Sammy Hagar era, which would go on to 5150 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance. Am I missing one? Okay. 51. Okay. 5150 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance. Am I missing something out of that? There's another album there. Can somebody enlighten me on that? So, yeah, 5150, Balance. But yeah, this album, like I said, it debuted at #1 in the Billboard Hot 100. They never had a #1 album before, other than this album. So it's a good kick-ass album too. So yeah, and like I said, I did post an interview with Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen on 5150 in their studio, and I did post good. Why Can't This Be Love? Best of Both Worlds. And yeah, so anyways, but wait a minute, I do have, hold on here a sec. All right, so yeah, I had to leave there, pick this up. It's like Love Walks In, Live Without a Net. Yeah, and so Live Without a Net. That basically was born out of 5150. So. Yeah, pick that up too. Live Without a Net. All right, and so I do feel a bathroom break coming on, so give me a minute here. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm back, and we can. Yeah. All right. So there we can. All right. Yeah. Larry, I agree with you. Still the best band out there. All right. All right. And yeah, like I said, I did post I did post interviews from 5150 by Edward Van Halen and Alex Van Halen. I posted it on my blogcast page and my Facebook page, and the songs Why Can't This Be Love, Good Enough, and Best of Both Worlds. And like I said, Live Without a Net, good CD. It born out of 5150. 5150, classic legacy album, 40 years old. A couple of days ago. So yeah, enjoy it. This was whoa. All right. Okay. So yeah, if you ever see this classic album, pick it up. And yeah, so all right. 5150 by Van Halen. All right. Okay. So. All right. Okay, this is Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338. It is Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Boom. As I'm about to give you another fact, as our top 10. Okay. So here's another. It's number 8. Okay. In our top 10 Chuck Norris facts. Chuck actually died 4 years ago, but the Grim Reaper can't get up enough courage to tell Chuck Norris. Again, Chuck Norris actually died 4 years ago, but the Grim Reaper can't get up the courage to tell him that. And so, there we go. All right. Okay. My craft beer for tonight, accompanied by a good cigar. It is a Hoya Montana cigar. De Monterey Habana cigar. Accompanying that is our Gibson's Finest Whiskey. And our craft beer for tonight, it is called Session IPA. It's called Bravo. It's a Session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. As I'm trying this beer for the very first time tonight, it's a good beer. It's a good spring, summer, and fall beer. Good with salads. You can drink this on your front porch or back deck. Yeah, I'm going to top this up here. So, and I did get one of their glasses while I was there. I have, like, look at that, Forked River. And look at the texture of that. Like, look at the texture of that. It's a good beer. Yeah. All right. And like I said, I do give this a rating from 1 out of 10. I'm going to rate it pretty soon. Yeah. So as I give another Chuck Norris fact, I'll place this back here. I do, like I said, I do give this a rating from 1 out of 10. If you guys want to throw the numbers, feel free. See if it matches up with mine, feel free to do so. All right. So another Chuck Norris fact here. All right. Number 9 in our top 10. Chuck Norris makes onions cry. Again, Chuck Norris makes onions cry. And so, there we go. All right, bam. And I will give Chuck Norris an 11 gong salute later on in the blogcast. All right. And if you all guys want to call up the hotline tonight, 1-800-867-5309, toll free to call on your rotary or your cell. Please feel free to do so. 1-800-867-5309. And you do not need your parents' permission. You can call me up. Jim, how's the blogcast? We love the blogcast. How that beer going down? Right on. 1-800-867-5309. And I'm going to remind everybody tonight that Big Jims Blogcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all these audio listening platforms. There's a podcast too, plus my own YouTube channel, Big Jims Blogcast Live at youtube.com. All right. And I want to give thanks to everybody watching in the Sarnia Port Elgin groups. Sarnia rocks. Michelle, you guys rock. Supporting Sarnia 2.0. All the pop culture groups, retro, classic, vintage, nostalgia, yesteryear. All the Van Halen, hard rock, hair metal, classic rock groups. All the craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, pro wrestling, vlog group, classic TV and movies, birthdays, bongos, and the Chuck Norris groups. Right on. As we get to my most favorite time in the blogcast, we have this week in Van Halen history. All right. So, get ready. All right. March 21st, 1979, Van Halen releases Van Halen 2. All right. March 23rd, 1978, Van Halen opens for Journey at the Century Theater in Buffalo, New York. March 24th, 1986, Van Halen releases 5150. March 24th, 1985, Sammy Hagar plays Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. March 25th, 1979, Van Halen plays the Selland Arena in Fresno, California. March 25th, 1983, Van Halen play and pose for pictures in Neptune, New Jersey. March 26, 1980, Van Halen released Women and Children First. March 26, 1979, Van Halen plays with Nazareth at Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio. March 27, 1986, Van Halen begins the 5150 tour, playing the first show with Sammy Hagar at the Hirsch Memorial Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana. March 24th, 1994, David Lee Roth plays with Theater of the Living Arts in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. March 28, 2012, Van Halen plays at Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. March 28, 1986, Van Halen played Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. March 29, 1979, Van Halen played Adams Fieldhouse in Missoula, Montana. March 29, 1995, Van Halen played Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And that is it for this week in Van Halen history. All right. Okay, right, rock on. All right. Thank you for what this is Big Jims Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. As I'm going to present to you, before we rate the beer, I'm going to give you Chuck Norris fact number 10. Number 10 in our top 10. Chuck Norris once went to Mars, that's why there are no signs of life. Chuck Norris once went to Mars, that's why there are no signs of life. All right, and that is it for our Chuck Norris top 10. We are going to give Mr. Norris, before we rate the beer, we're going to give Chuck Norris an 11 gong salute. So here we go. All right. One more for good measure there. Cheers to you, Mr. Norris, wherever you are right now. All right. So anyways, yeah, it's that time. I'm going to rate the beer. All right. Okay. I mean, okay, and what am I going to, like, I'm going to give it, no. All right. So anyways, my final thoughts on this beer. My beer for tonight, accompanied by like a good cigar. If anybody wants to throw out a number between 1 and 10, feel free to do so. My cigar tonight, accompanied by, it's a Hoya Montes Habana Cuban. We've got like Gibson's Finest Whiskey. All right. The craft beer for tonight, my final thoughts on this beer. It is called Bravo. It's a session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario, Canada. All right, got to top this up. So, all right. So anyways, yeah, Bravo. This is a good beer. It's basically a spring, summer, fall beer. And, well, you can, yeah, and I'm going to expand that to winter. So it's an all year round beer. It's got a good aftertaste to it. The bitterness does go away. And, yeah, it goes good with, like, when you're on your back deck or your front porch or inside. This would go good with salad, fish. This would go good with, like, actually, dare I say, a barbecue beer. It's a good barbecue beer. And so, yeah, that bitterness, that little tangy bitterness disappeared. All right. So, what do I give it? I've thought long and hard on this. All right. Well, here we go. I am going to give it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Gwen, you were close to that. You were very close to that. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And where does it land on here in our chart? All right. Ooh, excellent. Well, very interesting, well executed. Something as a beer geek I would buy again. And yeah, I would buy that again. Yeah, 8 out of 10 tonight. So, well, I mean, come on. Larry, this is my second Bravo beer. But, and you have to, like, really feel the beer. That's what I do. I feel the beer. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Great job, Forked River, on Bravo, the Session IPA, Forked River by a brewing company in London, Ontario, Canada. Yeah. So yeah, you got to feel the beer as you go along. Like, I mean, for me, yeah, it good beer. All right. So yeah, 8 out of 10. So all right, and yeah. Since I already gave Mr. Norris an 11 gong salute, 12 gong salute. What does the wife think of the beer? She has not tried it. So, but yeah, if you guys want to pick up some T-shirts, I got T-shirts for sale. They are $35 plus shipping and handling included. You can get the classic design Big Jim Blogcast Live. Or the jersey like mine with the logo on the front or the back, or a T-shirt or a tank top. Any design you want, you inbox me on my Blogcast page or my regular page with a money order or transfer, and I'll do my best to get that out to you. 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. There we go. Take a look at those T-shirts. I've sent a few out to a few satisfied people. So yeah, all right. So, all right. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you guys an inspirational, motivational quote. Embrace today, be stronger than you were yesterday, face your fears and wipe your tears. And that's by Unknown. I'll repeat that. Embrace today, be stronger than you were yesterday, face your fear and wipe your tears. So right on. This is Big Jim Blogcast Live, version 8.0, episode 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. Yeah. All right. And thank you for ending your weekend with me. Boom. All right. Okay. And yeah, we've reached the end of the blogcast there. Fuck. So, anywho. All right. So, anyways. All right. So anyways, okay. All right, that's it for me, Big Jim Podcast Live, version 8.0, 338, Sunday, March 29th, 2026. We gave an 8 out of 10 to a Bravo Session IPA by the Forked River Brewing Company in London, Ontario. Birthday shout-outs. King Lemke, Randall Scar, Tracy McCrary Fortis, Mike Owen, Clint Turcott, Warren Phillips, Nicole Bishop, Mark Edward Lander, you, Scott Pearson. We did our Chuck Norris tribute with 11 gong salute to him. We did Delta Force 2. We did Walker, Texas Ranger Season 1. Chuck Norris Facts. We did our classic tag teams, Demolition. Our classic Dallas Cowboy-Scott case. Our Rockstar Plane Crashes-Patsy Cline. Our classic Legacy album. 5150 by Van Halen, this week in Van Halen history. We rated the beer 8 out of 10. Our inspirational motivational quote: embrace today, be stronger than you were yesterday, face your fears and wipe your tears. Big Jim Podcast Live is not spam. The audio version will go out later on Spotify, Apple Podcast, those other listening platforms which your podcast. You can play on YouTube channel, Big Jim Podcast Live at YouTube.com. Enjoy the upcoming long weekend. You will not see me next weekend. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching the Sarnia Port Elgin groups. Michelle, you guys rock. Sarnia rocks. All the pop culture, retro classic, vintage style, the yesteryear groups. All the Van Halen, hard rock, and roll classic rock groups. All the craft beer, cigars, sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, pro wrestling, blog and vlog groups, classic TV and movie birthdays, bongos, and of course all the Chuck Norris groups. And he said, you will not see me next weekend, the weekend after. So, but next weekend is a long weekend, so embrace it, enjoy it, and I know I will. So anyways, people, cheers. And yeah, so, all right. Bravo, Session IPA, Fork River Brewing Company, 8 out of 10. All right. So, yeah. Cheers, everyone. Be good. And I will see you the weekend after. All right. Yeah, for Big Jims Blogcast Live, I'm Jim. And yeah, so anyways, enjoy it, people. What do we got here? All right. So yeah. So yeah. And I will see you the weekend after.